two-point play conversion at the end there. What did you see on that play that was made the right call for you guys, and just kind of what worked, what didn't work on that play in your mind?
You're talking the very last one,
The
or?
two-point play in with Asa and that got stopped in the second overtime.
Yeah. So plays. I've been doing this a long time. Plays that work are the right call. Plays that don't work are the wrong call. That play right there, for those who really watched it and broke it down, that play right there has answers for absolutely everything they could show. Has answers for man coverage, has answers for the 7 red they could play across. It has answers for their quarters coverage they can play down there. It has answers for their Sally blitzes, for their swarm blitzes, for their stab. It has answers for everything that they could show in that situation. And if you watch that play and you break that play down, they had a guy on that defensive side of the ball who made a really, really good play. One guy. That guy made a play over our guy. If we win that battle right there, that one-on-one, we're walking in the end zone untouched. So was it the right call? No, it didn't work. It wasn't the right call. But would I go back and make that call again in that situation? I liked the call when I made it. I felt good about the call when I made it because it had answers for absolutely everything they can do. So that's what it is.
And Ryan just told us that you guys practice those two-point plays often. So in an overtime like that, it's just a matter of you guys going with the plays you guys are trusted during the week. I think you guys run 7 during the week at least.
Yeah, we carry about 6, 7 2-point plays every week. We have them every Tuesday practice. We go through and practice those. We walk through them on Thursday. We run them again on Friday. So we know what we're going to run, when we're going to run, how we're going to run it in those situations, just in case you get into the new overtime rules, but the overtime rules of where you're going for 2 over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So those plays are run, those plays are executed on a weekly basis.
And going back to the point you just made, I know like from a fan standpoint, fans can be real results driven, right? And it's easy to say something in hindsight. But when you're making a play based off what you see schematic, whether it works or not, knowing that what you wanted or what was seen, that part of that was there, does that get you to be like, okay, schematically we are doing what we want to do, it just didn't work in that moment?
Yeah, I mean that's part of it. We called a couple touchdowns the other night too that I'd go back and say wasn't the right call for that situation, but plays were made, things happen, we scored touchdowns on it. You know what I mean? That's part of coordinating. But we have a scheme, we have a plan, we go with it. We know what they're going to be in. If you're not 100% sure what they're going to be in, every play we run has answers to what they could be in. So we have the plays drawn up and it's watched and it's planned and it's everything. So we just execute it again. You go back and say, would you make a different call? I'd go back in my career and make a lot of different calls for plays that didn't work. But when I called that play at that time, it was the right play to call.
And then looking at Caden, how you guys, you used him more, not just in the red zone, but just, in the field totally. What did you see out of their defense that you thought would allow you to be able to use him the way you did?
No, well, I said the same thing the other week. Like we target Caden closing in on 8, 9 times a game. You know what I mean? When I say targeting the play is called where he's either the first or the second read in that play. Sometimes that second read gets open. Sometimes that first read goes the other way. You know what I mean? So there's plays that are designed to get Caden as the first read, and there's times to get him as the second read. Some of those big plays he made, like the big play on the whatever that was, 3rd or 4th play of the game, he was the 5th read in that. You know what I mean? That we just happened to get down to him. They were in a 2-man coverage. He chipped off the defensive end. Their guy covering him in man coverage lost his responsibilities. He green dogged the quarterback, so Caden was scot-free in the flat, and Seth did a great job of finding him. You know what I mean? So to me, that's part of it. You know what I mean? People who aren't in my seat don't have the answers to what's going on and think that was a great call because we got Caden wide open in the flat. And really, that was the 5th read in that play. So things like that just kind of happen and fall into his hands. But he is a guy that we're trying to get the ball to and trying to target, closing in 8 to 9 times a game.
So when you make a play like that with your 5th read, what does that say about Seth's ability to go through his progressions properly?
Yeah, I mean, when you get to your 5th read, a lot of things went well. A couple of things, defense did a good job of covering 1, 2, 3, 4. Offense line did a great job of giving us time to get that, and Seth did a great job of going through his progression and finding his tight end in the flat as a 5th read. You know what I mean? So a lot of things go into that when that happens, and Seth has a great concept of what we're doing offensively. Me and him are on the same page, so he knows where his checkdowns are. I call them UARs, underneath available receivers. He knows where those guys are, and he knows where to find them when 1, 2, and 3 aren't open.
So through 7 games, how would you assess this receiver by committee? I know I've asked about it before, but how would you assess how the receiver by committee approach has gone so far in terms of just being both effective but also being able to get more guys involved and kind of give more options on the field?
Yeah, I think you're kind of seeing that. So, pretty much every week is somewhat different. Skates had a really good game. Excuse me, Joe had a really good game this past weekend, you know what I mean? And there's been other games where other guys have touched the ball and made plays in those situations. Again, sometimes we're going into a play and we're putting Javon in a situation where he's the number one read. That number one read ain't always open. You know what I mean? So sometimes when a guy has a big game like this, again, the touchdown that Joe caught on the 2-minute drive, he was the fourth read in that progression. So I'm not sitting up there and saying, hey, this is when we're getting Joe the ball and this is how we're getting Joe the ball. We're calling a play that we like against the coverage that we're expecting to get. Seth is going through his progression. If Reed runs open, he's going to take it. If Reed 2 is open, he's going to take it. The Reed 3 is going to take it. 4, he's going to take it. If pocket starts to close down, he's going to get out and scramble like he's done a good job of. So there's times we're targeting guys. And again, in a perfect world with where we're going receiver-wise, we're targeting each receiver position 8 times. We're targeting the tight end position 8 times. We're targeting the running backs around 30 times. You include carries. Quarterback's getting about 8 carries. That's going to get us right there to a 62 deal, and then you kind of just go on from there. You get 70-plus plays in the game.
So from that, I mean, it's obviously, the numbers may not show it, but it is a more balanced offense. I think I saw 7 guys at least 10 catches. Is that encouraging for you as a coordinator where you have a lot of guys you can count on, or is it difficult where maybe you may not have that one big dog you maybe can count on where you have like other guys filling in?
No, we got a lot of guys we can count on. And again, when a play needs to be made, you trust your read, you trust your progression. You get into your sandbox, is a term we use as a receiver. When you run your route, you have your sandbox on the field that you have the ability to get open in. You can't play another man's sandbox. So when you're in that sandbox, you have the right to get open in that sandbox, and Seth's progression will take him through who's going to be open in those situations. So to me, it's a combination of a lot of things. We got guys we can count on in that receiver room. We got guys we can count on in the tight end room. Hassel's even got a couple catches this year, you know what I mean? And in the past, he's been a, go block that guy type of guy, So to me, it's encouraging. And who's going to make the big play for us depends where the progression takes him. And who has a hot hand, so you get into that situation. We targeted Skates a couple times. We targeted Joe a couple times. And, he had the hot hand, so we're going to keep going back to him.
Speaking of the hot hand, I mean, the explosive plays, you guys had more of those in this game. It seems like this is kind of a return to form for you guys. Were you pleased with just kind of how that was able to come back after maybe the last few games? It wasn't maybe as
Yeah, we had a little bit more. We had 2 more explosive plays in the Houston game than we did in this past game. The Temple game was the one we only had 6 explosive plays. Other than that, we've been 10 or above throughout the year. So it's a point that we're trying to make with explosive plays, and explosive plays don't have to be 30-yard, 35-yard passes downfield. It can be a 5-yard throw that someone turns into a 15, 16-yard gain. That becomes explosive for us. So there's different ways you can be explosive, but it's important for us to be explosive in those situations. We were able to get over top of these guys, and Joe caught 2 balls on top of people, which was a big deal for him. We got Caden late in the flat a couple times. We got Caden on a little delay route there, first play of the game. Things like that, were are big for us offensively to stretch the field and get those guys going, because ECU is very good against the run. You know what I mean? So we were going to need to throw the ball to be in that game and throw the ball to win that game, and that's what we had to do, and how we had to attack them.
How would you describe the explosive plays, just for your sake, just so we can understand? Like, what do you classify as? Is it just the big plays downfield, or is it more just like you said, the short plays that turn into longer?
It's a combination of both. So we classify explosive plays as a 16-plus in the throw game, 12-plus in the run game, and then we keep tally of 20-plus plays. So those become our explosive plays, and to me, they're combinations. If we can stretch the field and get the ball downfield, like we did to Joe a couple times, like we did to Caden a couple times, but it doesn't have to be drop back and just throw bombs all day long. You know what I mean? We can hit guys on the run, we can hit guys on the move, and positive things can happen off of that deal as well.
And at this point in the season, this is where attrition becomes a factor. Having that depth at running back, I know Brandon Thomas was out. Is this where that depth kind of benefits, having those extra guys in there?
Yeah, you better have depth at all positions in college football. It's going to happen this time of year, and no matter who you are or how much you lift in the off season and what you do in fall camp, you're going to be playing with your number 2 at some point. You know what I mean? Whether it be one game or one drive or something like that. So everybody needs to be ready. That's the way we coach all here. That's the way Coach Silverfield has us coach. That's the way I've always coached my whole life, is that if you're in the quarterback room, I'm going to coach you like you're a starter. If you're in the running back room, you're getting coached like you're a starter. We're demanding those things because we've all been there, been doing it long enough. We've all been there. All of a sudden, that third-string quarterback is a chin strap away from playing. The fourth-string quarterback is a shoelace away from playing. So they better be ready to go, because winning football games is required whether you're playing with your number 1 guy or your number 4 guy.
I'll have those numbers, 2, 3 responded to that.
They've done a good job when they had their chance to get in there. No one's ever perfect in what they do, but they've had a good chance of. They've done a good job. Braxton went in a couple times in the line over the past couple weeks and played some center, played some guard. Mac Pounders went in, played some when Austin was out. I mean, we're rolling guys through. Caden was out for a couple plays. Johnny goes in and makes a play for us. So that's just our mentality. We trust the guys going in the game. They practice. They're in the meetings. They work, they study the film, all that type of stuff. So I could tell Seth, I don't care who's in the game. When we call play, you go through your progression based upon 1, 2, 3, 4, not, well, he's in, I'm not going to throw to him. I don't like throwing to him either. You know what I mean? So we're going to make our reads off of that and trust the guys that are in the game.
How are you guys judging the run? How would you assess the run game now? I think you guys had one of those season lows, I think, in rushing yards. How would you assess where the run game is right now in 7 games?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, go look at ECU stats, and people don't. They do a great job of forcing you to throw the ball. I could have told you that going in Friday, that we probably were going to do what we did offensively and throw the ball first and see if we can get them on some runs. We hit them on some runs, got the ball in the house on some runs, 9-yard touchdown, that type of stuff. We hit them a couple times, but that's who they are. You know what I mean? So, again, you guys get sick of me saying it, but we're going to take what the defense gives us. And, if we were playing those guys again, it'd be the same game plan going in, where we're going to need to try and get the ball through the air and loosen them up in the run game as it goes, and create ways to get some run game. And again, modern day football, you're playing RPO football. So we have a lot of run plays calls in my mind that turn into 15-yard throws because they're putting 7 guys, 8 guys in the box. You know what I mean? And to me, again, if we were sitting down and really talking the X and O's of football with everybody out there in the world, and they really understood what was going on, I'd say maybe 30% of the throws we made the other night are run calls in my mind. They're just taking advantage of the fact that they're putting too many guys in the box, and we're going to throw it to that guy who's wide open because you got 8 guys standing here. You know what I mean? That's a run play. And until they stop coming in the box, we're going to keep taking that run play.
So with that sense of overall the season, it seems like the run game's obviously had flashes. They said Jay and Brandon had flashes.
Yeah.
What do you think is maybe? Is it more taking what the defense gives, or is it more of like not being able to have those? I guess I guess the consistency of the run game, where you guys are able to get those like 4 or 5 yard plays consistently. Like what do you think maybe is the biggest concern or affecting that? You think?
Yeah. Again, it's going to be how many guys are in the box. How many guys in the box? We're not winning every one-on-one battle. I'd be lying if I say we were. You know what I mean? But again, football is a game of numbers. They only got 11 guys that can play over there. And if they're going to put 7 guys in the box, then they ain't got enough guys to cover the rest of the field, which is why we're throwing these bang 8s, which is why we're throwing these glances, which is why we're throwing these slants and these one routes, okay? That's why we're taking those throws. And until they get guys out of the box, you're thinking of a big run ace hit against Houston. We got Houston to clear the box. When you watch the film and break that down, if you people would do that instead of just talking about it, they would see that when that play got hit, there were 5 guys in the box. So we have hats on hats. We give them the ball, and they don't have enough guys in the box. That's why we hand the ball off in that situation. If they wanted to put 7 guys in the box in that situation, then we got to throw the ball downfield. That's the way football is played. It's a numbers game, and we're going to take advantage of where the less numbers are.
Are you seeing teams more stack the box against you guys a little bit more?
Everyone in the world is going to try and stack the box. We got to stop the run first. You talk to any defense coordinator in the country, he's going to tell you we're going to stop the run first. You know what I mean? So there's guys that are coming in the box and doing that. Are we winning every one-on-one battle? No, we're not. But when we get a light box, good things happen.
Going into the Tulane game, where is the mindset going into this game?
For us?
Yeah, like in terms of what you've seen out of their defense.
Out of their defense, this defense is a disciplined, play hard, flying high right now defense where they're at. They've done a good job. I don't know what their rank is. They're definitely top 20, if not top 10 in the country in defensive statistics, in the big ones. You know what I mean? So they've done a good job. South Florida did some good things against them last week in the quarterback run game and stuff like that. With some play action passes, we were able to get them downfield on it. But they're not a big do a lot guys. And they're going to play their coverages and kind of give you different ways to get into the same coverage. They're going to play their fronts and stem here and there. But right now they're playing discipline. They're playing hard. They're playing fast, and they're playing high right now. And they're with the way their season's going.
Now, looking, last 2 games, you guys have had the big leads. Right now, I know earlier we were talking about the struggle of starting the game slow. Well, now you guys have gotten that part. What has went into being able to fix that part of the game from earlier this season?
Yeah, we're executing early in the game. We're playing with confidence early in the game. Things are working early in the game, and that's a big part of it. Our guys go in the game confident every week, but naturally if you hit a play here, you hit a play there. We had 2 big plays on the first drive this week. Football statistics since the beginning of time will tell you if you have a play over 20 yards, you're going to score a touchdown in a high 75, low 80 percentage of those drives. So we had 2 in that drive. So we're trying to find ways we can exploit them. We're trying to find ways that we can, again, take advantage, take some shots downfield, stretch the field horizontally, vertically, and when our guys are paying attention to detail and our guys are executing and handling the play that they're in right now, then good things happen for us. And that's just what we got to continue to do.
When you're starting that fast, does that help kind of dictate what the offense is doing to you when you're able to hit those big plays in terms of trying to get some of those guys out of the box and things of that nature?
Yeah. If you hit some big plays like that, then they got to start making a decision. And if they want to continue to have all those guys in the box, and we're going to continue throwing them, which is what kind of ended up going on the other night. You can see other games of the year where we're doing that, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to wonder why the run game starts working in late in the fourth quarter. Because defenses have to make a decision if you're taking advantage of that on the outside. Then are they going to bring that strong safety in the box? Are they going to bring that boundary safety in the box? Are they going to bring that striker in the box? If they don't want to bring them in the box, now we have opportunity to get hats on hats and not have a free hitter in there and run the ball. So, I know a lot more goes into it than what people believe really goes into it, man.
What do you think is the second half has been? I know you go back to your favorite word details, but what do you think has been maybe the biggest concern in the second half where those staff starts have not been able to been repeated? You think?
Say again.
What do you think is what is changing in the second half where you guys aren't able to repeat those fast starts? You guys started fast the last 2 games, but the second halves, the touchdowns aren't coming, drives aren't being finished. What do you think is maybe the biggest thing you've seen the last 2 games?
Yeah, there are some detailed things in there. We could sit down and watch the film together and go through it. The other night we had 11 drives. We scored 5 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Houston game, we ended up getting some field goals late in the game there that separated and got us into a 2-possession game, into a 3-possession game type deal. So, a lot of it goes into it, and it's just continue to play one play at a time.
With the consistency, I guess, is it more of a consistency thing or just defense making?
It's always a consistency thing, man. That's what coaching is all about. Coaching is all about being consistent and playing the next snap and playing the next play, and that's what we preach. We can't live in hills and valleys. We can't get too excited when things are going great. We can't get too down when things are going bad. You got to play the next snap.
Thank you, Tim.
I appreciate you guys.